All right, welcome to 2019, everyone. This is my rig rundown for the year. As you can tell, if you've watched some of my older videos, not a whole lot has changed. I took off the 7-Up Mini from the front of my board simply because a couple times when I was playing live, it was getting a little squirrely with me, causing my signal to die and getting some weird sounds in. Not exactly sure if that was a power issue or if that was the pedal. So I just took it off, put it in my pedal drawer, and just take it out when I'm using it for recording. You can also see that I added an expression wheel for the RV6, which is amazing and really unlocks a lot of tones. And yeah, I'll show you that in a little bit. So this is my signal. I go from the guitar, still playing the Fender Strat, into the TU2 tuner. From there, I go to the Seritone Centura to the King of Tone. From there, I go to the Julia. From the Julia to the Diamond Memory Lane Junior to the DD20, and from there to the RV6. So this is what it sounds like with, no pedals on. Tell when you're digging in, you get a little bit of grit, and usually when I am playing, I have the Seritone Centura on the whole time. For me, it's more like an EQ pedal than actually using any overdrive or gain. As you can see right now, I have it down with no gain at all. Sometimes, depending on how I set my amp up, I'll run the gain a little bit higher than that. But yeah, this is usually how the pedal sounds. So yeah, that's pretty much my bass tone, what I'm playing with, pretty much 60% of the time, and then I'll add different effects on top of that. So yeah, usually also I have the Walrus Audio Julia on as well. It just does something to the tone. Usually I keep it like this, the rate down super low, depth, anywhere between 10 and 12. Lag, similar on there. I usually have it on the vibrato setting. And it usually I only mess with the knobs if I'm recording, but it just adds something more to the sound. It's almost like another boost, almost. I don't know really what it does at this setting, but I just really like how it kind of adds maybe a little something to my sound. This is without. So it almost like kind of softens some of those treble frequencies. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. So yeah, usually I keep that on all the time. So let's get to the King of Tone. Usually I have the right side, which is the red side, set up as a higher overdrive sound. So if I'm playing like a lead, usually I'll kick that on sometimes. If it's going from like, maybe it's in the bridge and, band's really behind me, I'll kick that on to really give more sustain, more of a jive. Just, give people different flavor than just regular kind of clean sound. So the left side is the yellow side. That's a boost. So that's not really adding a lot of gain, just more like volume. And if you really want to get, crispy, you just turn them all on. Yeah, I don't usually really do that often. Maybe, if we're getting real crazy, sometimes I do that. So this is all without really turning on any delay right now. My main delay usually is the Diamond Memory Lane Junior. Just kind of have it to add a little something. Because it's pretty much kind of set and forget. You just, I usually have the modulation on the full way and adjust the mix with my foot to taste and just tap into tempo. What's weird with this one is when you tap into tempo, it really doesn't, if you type in quarters, the light doesn't really blink in that, so... So yeah, that's kind of weird, but I kind of get around it. So this is something like higher ground. Yeah, and then kind of get that smearing with the repeats. So that gets to the Boss DD20. I use this delay for more the things whenever I need something to be right on tempo. I have the tap lined up here, as you can see. This is just my tap. And I usually have it set for a quarter note. It's on the modulate setting. As you can tell, I really like modulation when it comes to my delays. The reason I haven't set it on this is that I can do sort of the dotted eighth quarter thing. Yeah, so that's that. When I'm recording, I'll get real crazy with it. You do some of the warp, and if I'm running stereo, I have my pedal board set up that I could run stereo when I'm recording. And can really play around with that. And for instance, when I do want to run stereo, or when I'm doing recording, that's when I'll use the DD20 as my primary delay, because the Memory Lane Junior can't do stereo. So that's what I use that for. Really like it. It's really versatile. And yeah, I can also, it has a looper on there. So yeah, that gets me to the RV6, which I really like as a reverb. And due to the Black Friday sale, I was able to get this expression pedal from Analog and Devers with the TRS cable, which really, to me, expands the delay or the reverb pedal so much more. For me, I really wanted one because I hate bending over during a set and changing the mix knob. Because there's times where I like to keep it subtle, and there's times I like to get it real spacey. And so this allows me to keep the pedal on all the time. And because it's buffered, doesn't lose any signal loss. And then I can just adjust it with my foot as I want more and more delay or reverb. So you can see right now there's no reverb, and then all the way to 100% wet here. So that's not usually how I have the pedal set per se. It's on the shimmer setting. I was doing some recording last night. Usually have it for the hall setting. And then throw some reverb or some delay on top of that. Or something like, for instance, the tune I was just playing, Holy Ground. Just going from, that lead line into a verse, just crank it up all the way. Just to kind of get more of that swell going on. So yeah, it just makes it really easy to be able to just adjust it with my foot. You can get some really cool like swells. So yeah, that's my board for 2019. I don't really anticipate changing anything. I might get a couple pedals, fuzz pedals, just to play with those, but that's what works for me for doing a lot of the stuff I'm doing for Common Man Music with my good friend John Jorgensen, and we've had a lot of success with that, with spoken word, sort of ambient instrumental stuff, and yeah, playing at church. So thanks so much for checking that out, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one.